Karen Review, Print Speaking to the Blind, celebrating 40 years of audio newspaper production. Welcome to this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast, recorded at the Bishopbriggs Media Centre by our amazing volunteers. You can get in touch with us via Facebook, Twitter or Instagram using @KuenReview. That is @CuenDriview. You can also contact us directly by emailing information@kuenreview.com. That is INFORMATION@CuenReview.com, or by calling 0141 772 3976. That's 0141 772 3976.
This week's Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald podcast, date Wednesday the 17th of May 2023, is read to you by volunteers Alan, Hunter and Ian. Taxi drivers in fares feud. A row has broken out amongst rival taxi firms in Kirkintilloch over claims that drivers from other council areas are taking their fares. The feud started after the recent takeover of a well-known firm in the area, who we have chosen not to name, with drivers from other firms saying they have seen a slump in their trade as a result. One raging driver told us, "It's a huge issue for us and the majority of drivers aren't happy." He claims the newly owned firm have taken on so much business that they can't cope, leading them to calling in favours from Glasgow, South Lanarkshire and North Lanarkshire taxi firms. Whilst it's not illegal for taxi firms to pick up or drop off fares in neighbouring council areas, it is against the rules to trade there exclusively. As per the Civic Government Act 1982, a taxi driver cannot go to a neighbouring authority and carry out fares. That means, for instance, a driver with a Glasgow City Council badge could not pick up and drop off the same fare in East Dunbartonshire or any other council area. The journey must at least start or end in the Glasgow area. East Dunbartonshire Council say they're aware of the complaints, but they're not investigating the matter. A council spokeswoman told the Herald, "We are aware of such complaints from other taxi firms in Kirkintilloch. We have not, however, been provided with or seen evidence that supports these allegations. The council takes all complaints regarding infringement of licensing conditions seriously and investigates where appropriate. The specific legislation relates to the Schedule of Conditions, point 12 and 13, which state the licence holder may only operate from a radio base or control point located within the licensed area. At the conclusion of any journey, which requires the licence holder to leave the licensed area, the licence holder must return immediately to the licensed area." The Herald source claims that cars from out of the area are coming in to take fares at all times, including in the busiest of periods, in direct contradiction to this legislation, adding, "It's not on." This Week in History, read by me, Ian McKenna. May the 18th, 1954, the European Convention on Human Rights came into force. On this day last year, actor and presenter James Corden paid tribute to Kay Mellor following her death aged 71, saying, "She changed my life." May 19, 1982, Italian actress Sofia Loren was jailed for a month for tax evasion. May the 20th, 1941, Germany began an aerial invasion of Crete. On this day last year, the seaside town of Bangor in Northern Ireland was awarded city status to mark the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. May 21st, 1966, Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali, ended Henry Cooper's hopes of winning the World Heavyweight crown for Britain in round 6 in London. May 22nd, 1972, Ceylon became the Republic of Sri Lanka. On this day last year, survivors of the Manchester Arena terror attack and Mayor Andy Burnham were among those marking the 5th anniversary of the tragedy before running a 10-kilometre race through the city. May 23rd, 1945, Heinrich Himmler, Hitler's Minister of the Interior, committed suicide. On this day last year, Radio 1 DJ Adele Roberts said she loves her body more than ever as she appeared on the cover of Women's Health UK with a visible stoma bag.
Top award for bakery. Staff at Peter's Bakery in Kirkintilloch are on cloud nine after scooping a top award at the Scottish Baker of the Year Awards last week. That saw the Merkland Drive team walk home with the award for Best Roll in the Central Scotland. But not only that, they went on to win the national final, meaning they can proudly say that Peter's Bakery is officially home of the best morning roll in Scotland. And they couldn't be happier. Talking to social media, the team shared their success, posting, "A truly magnificent achievement for the whole team. We can't tell you enough how immensely proud we are. This award is an amazing recognition of the hard work and dedication of everybody in our team." The competition is organised by Scottish Bakers, which supports and protects the interests of Scotland's bakery trade. The competition was full of hotly contested categories, with bakers each asked to put forward up to 12 of their star products to be taste tested by 50 industry experts. Competition ambassador Mitch Turner said, "With 630 products from 70 bakers in the running, each and every one of which was assessed for appearance, the quality of the bake and taste, they can be rightly proud of their win." And the team went on to thank their loyal customers, adding, "None of this would be possible without you all. The support you give us is incredible, and we are so grateful to be able to serve the community. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you all." Each year, judges look for the best scones, loaves, savoury items, morning rolls, individual cakes and biscuits, as well as French and Danish style pastries, and free-from bread, biscuits and cakes. Prizes are awarded not just for the best products on show, but also for the best businesses, with 4 business categories recognised. They include Craft Baker of the Year, 3 shops or less; Retail Craft Baker of the Year, 4 shops or more; Wholesale Baker of the Year, no shops; and Bakery Cafe of the Year, for cafes who produce the bulk of their own baked goods. The team at Peters were rightly praised by their loyal fans, with over 300 comments of congratulations to their post in just a matter of hours. Read by Alan Todd.
Booster clinics as recorded by Hunter MacDonald. NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde are encouraging people to take advantage of their COVID-19 booster clinics. The spring drop-in clinics are available at various locations across the region and are part of the continued effort to combat the disease. These are aimed at those aged 75 and over, or for those with a weakened immune system aged 12 or above. Consultant Ian Kennedy said, "The vaccine offers crucial protection against COVID-19 and helps prevent serious illness if the virus is contracted." Previous drop-in services have been a great success, and we would ask those who are eligible to make sure they get vaccinated at the earliest opportunity. For more information on the clinics and where you can find a list of drop-in locations, head online to nhsggc.scot. Police Recruitment Day for Ethnic Groups. People from an ethnic minority considering a career in the police are being encouraged to attend an open day this weekend. Police Scotland are opening their doors to would-be recruits for people who want to know more about a career in the service. The event is being held at their Training and Recruitment Centre in Jackton, near East Kilbride, this Saturday, and is specifically for groups currently underrepresented in the force. There, the force's Positive Action team will talk through the application process, the entry tests, and what to expect during the 12-week training period. A spokeswoman from the Positive Action team told the Herald, "We believe our police officers should reflect the diversity of our society. To ensure that bond is as strong as possible, we must fully represent and reflect the communities we serve. Inclusion is an operational necessity and morally the right thing to do. We encourage anyone from an ethnic minority background and thinking of becoming a police officer to take those next steps. If you're thinking of joining Police Scotland and want to know more, come along to a recruitment information event. We are committed to increasing the number of officers and staff from underrepresented groups. The open day runs from 10 a.m. till 1 p.m. and anyone wishing to attend should email Recruitment Positive Action Team at scotland.police.uk. Funding boost for school clubs. New funding to support after-school and holiday clubs in disadvantaged communities has been welcomed by the local MSP. East Dunbartonshire Council will now be able to apply for a share of £4.5 million to help support local families through the cost of living crisis by increasing access to affordable and quality childcare. And Rona Mackay praised her Scottish Government for the funding which will be used across the area. The Strathkelvin Bearsden MSP told the Herald, "This SNP government is delivering where it matters during this Tory cost of living crisis. This additional investment is sure to support many working parents in my constituency during the summer holidays and term time. Improving access to easily available childcare is key when it comes to tackling child poverty. From taking action on fuel poverty to increasing social security benefits, it's clear for all to see that tackling poverty is a priority." First Minister Humza Yousaf announced details of the funding while convening a national anti-poverty summit in Edinburgh. The funding will help councils to improve indoor and outdoor areas with school estates in alignment with community needs. Miss Mackay added, "The Tories in Westminster give with one hand and take away with the other, while Labour watch on idly by on the sidelines. The SNP has proved it's the party to take action against Westminster austerity for the people of Scotland." Charity Award. An East Dunbartonshire group is in the running for a top accolade at the Scottish Charity Awards. The Scottish Union of Supported Employment are in the running for the highly coveted Digital Citizen Award. That will see them go up against Simon Community Scotland and North East Sensory Services. The awards are run annually by the Scottish Council for Voluntary Organisations, SCVO, and celebrate the best of Scotland's voluntary sector. This year's shortlist includes 32 individuals and organisations from charities and voluntary groups across the country. Judges will determine the winners in 9 distinct categories, with the public asked to have their say by voting for their favourite overall entry in the People's Choice Award at scvo.scot/vote. Deadline for votes is Wednesday, May the 24th.
Face masks on way out. It is no longer necessary to wear face masks at healthcare settings. Introduced to help reduce the spread and impact of COVID-19 during the pandemic, face masks have been part of our daily lives since March 2020. Despite the relaxing of restrictions around Easter 2022, they have remained the norm at GP surgeries, hospitals, pharmacies, dental surgeries and even optician surgeries. However, new Scottish Government guidance came into effect earlier this week, meaning patients and visitors to all health and care settings, including adult care homes, do not need to wear a mask or face covering unless advised by staff. An NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde spokesman told us, "We're in a position now where the extended use of masks and face coverings should be for particular situations and not the default position. Although COVID-19 continues to spread, transmission rates are lower, and the virus is currently milder than at earlier stages in the pandemic, resulting in a reduction of severity of illness and hospitalisation. The impact masks and face coverings can have on health and mental well-being, along with communication barriers, continues to be weighed up against the protection provided against the risk of harm from COVID-19. NHS Scotland guidance says that most people no longer need to take a coronavirus test. To prevent the spread of infection, you should try to stay at home if unwell. Symptoms of the virus include a continuous cough, high temperature, fever or chills, loss of or change in your normal sense of taste or smell, a shortness of breath, and unexplained tiredness and lack of energy. Other indicators include familiar flu-like symptoms, such as muscle aches or pains not caused by exercise, lack of appetite, long-lasting headaches, sore throat, stuffy or runny nose. Some sufferers also experience diarrhoea and feeling sick or being sick. Vaccination remains the greatest protection against COVID-19. For more information, go to NHS Inform to see if you are eligible to be vaccinated.
Pupil denied school place. A 12-year-old girl who self-harmed after being bullied at primary has been refused a request to go to a secondary near her home, while her allocated school is an hour's journey away. The Balornock primary pupil has endured 2 years of bullying, which has included girls filming her while she cried. One bully told her she was ugly and tried to pressure her into shaving her eyebrows. The child from Bishopbriggs suffers from anxiety and wants a fresh start at the nearest academy, but has been turned down as the S1 year is full. Explaining what her child has been through, her worried mum said, "I got a call from the school saying my daughter said she wanted to kill herself. It has been horrific." The 41-year-old decided to pay for a psychologist so her child could get counselling and says her daughter's mental health has started to improve, with the psychologist saying a place at Bishopbriggs Academy would enable her to continue that progress. The family, who have asked to remain anonymous to protect their daughter's identity, live on the edge of the catchment area for the school and have a Bishopbriggs postcode, but were shocked to discover they weren't zoned for the academy following a move to the area about a year ago. The academy is just 10 minutes away on the bus, while the catchment school she has been assigned to, Smithycroft Secondary, is over an hour away. The mother said, "I keep telling my daughter it's going to be okay, but I don't know if it's going to be okay. She says to me, 'Mum, I just want to finish that school and know where I'm going.'" The concerned parent added, "I applied for Bishopbriggs Academy as it's closest to us and for a fresh start. I gave in a letter of support from her current school, the psychologist and GP. Our postcode is G64, we are in Bishopbriggs, but I pay Glasgow City Council tax, not East Dunbartonshire. We were not automatically enrolled. I put in a placement request ASAP, but it was refused." Anne Davey, Deputy Chief Executive, Education, People and Business at East Dunbartonshire Council said, "The reputation of our schools means we receive high numbers of placing requests every year. The Council has a clear policy and timeline for allocating placing requests with clearly detailed priorities, and a robust appeals process is in place to look at cases where placing requests are refused. The Council must therefore apply its policies in a fair and consistent way across the board, which unfortunately means we cannot always grant a place to a child where a placing request application has been made. We understand that this is disappointing for the family, and we have provided advice and support on the options available to them." A Glasgow City Council spokeswoman said, "All parents and carers have the right to choose a school that is not their child's catchment school. However, unfortunately, there are never any guarantees that place will be available in your chosen school, and we know that this can be upsetting for families." Grant will help with active travel project. A flood reduction and active travel route project in nearby Springburn is set to benefit from a grant of almost £90,000. Aimed at delivering green space improvements in the area, they have received an award from the Places for Everyone programme. That will enable the team behind the project, led by Glasgow City Council as part of a Glasgow City deal, to fund the design of a complementary active travel route. Councillor Susan Aitken, leader of Glasgow City Council, said the project would tackle the long-standing drainage issues that have been a barrier to development in this area. She added, "It will also deliver fantastic green space improvements that will increase the utility and attractiveness of this underused space." The Places for Everyone funding adds more value by progressing the development of an active travel route that will better connect neighbourhoods and help improve the health and well-being of residents by encouraging outdoor activity and reducing car journeys. The development will see a new east-west link connecting Red Road with Broomfield Road, aimed at encouraging more walking, wheeling and cycling in the area. This would reactivate an underused open space. The proposed route would augment the environmental benefits to be delivered by an upcoming Glasgow City Deal project south of the Red Road Transitional Regeneration Area that will better manage rainwater in eastern Springburn. Places for Everyone is an active travel infrastructure programme funded by the Scottish Government and administered by Sustrans. Emily Gate from Sustrans Scotland told us, we are excited to help deliver an active travel route that is safe and accessible for everyone. The funding awarded for this project will help make everyday walking, wheeling and cycling journeys a reality, as well as improving local biodiversity and green spaces. Work will see the introduction of sustained drainage measures that mimic how rainwater is managed naturally, with work set to start next spring. Features will work to capture excess surface water during heavy rainfall and then slowly release it into the sewer system to minimise the chance of flooding.
Shut out scammers. Police Scotland are urging locals to be mindful of who they give information to as the level of doorstep scammers increases. The force were speaking as part of its Shut Out Scammers operation, aimed at reducing the number of victims to opportunistic crimes. Findings suggest doorstep scammers are taking advantage of the cost of living crisis, with an increase in such activity seen. A police source told us they are providing misleading information about services and products, saying they will save you money on energy bills or increase the value of your house. Don't take a cold caller's word for it, do some research and get an impartial opinion. Information about which grants and loans are available for energy efficiency measures is available from Home Energy Scotland.
ScotMid help for charities. 2 charities benefiting the local area have been awarded a share of £25,000 as part of ScotMid Cooperative's Community Connect Awards scheme. Each year, ScotMid members vote to award a share of the £150,000 Community Connect funding to 6 shortlisted Scottish good causes. The recipients secured their funding after being shortlisted by the community retailer to receive the lifeline financial support, helping them to continue delivering their vital work. Sunshine Wishes Children's Charity and Open Water Rescue each received £5,000, with Old Kilpatrick Food Parcels receiving a £15,000 award. Sunshine Wishes Children's Charity was originally set up in 2016 to grant wishes to young people up to the age of 18 who are living with a serious or life-shortening illness. Since the pandemic in 2020, the charity was overwhelmed with calls for help from the local community and widened its remit. It now helps support families in East Dunbartonshire and north of Glasgow with care packages, emergency household items and warm clothing. As the cost of living crisis intensifies, the funds from ScotMid will be used to purchase more than 500 more care packages to help families overcome their period of crisis. Open Water Rescue supports the emergency services in the Greater Glasgow area to conduct missing person searches, safety assessments of waterways and attend major incidents. Often working in remote areas, the teams, made up entirely of volunteers, rely on using their mobile phones to communicate with each other, often losing contact due to lack of signal. The funding from ScotMid will be used to purchase a reliable, up-to-date communication system to ensure that searches are conducted more efficiently and that the team members can call for immediate help or backup. The final charity from the west of Scotland to benefit, and which received the largest share of the £25,000, is Old Kilpatrick Food Parcels, which was formed with the specific aim of alleviating food poverty.
Campsie Mayfest weekend. The Campsie Festival Association will this week celebrate the natural beauty of the area with a Campsie countryside walk. That's as part of Campsie Mayfest, with the celebrations sure to be a success in showcasing the local environment. The walk will start at Milton of Campsie Village Hall at 10 a.m. this Saturday, May the 13th, with the aim of ending at midday 12 p.m. at the restored station platform in Milton of Campsie. There, participants can enjoy some refuelling coffee from the Fells Coffee House, who will also be dishing up scrumptious cakes and some live Scottish music. The walk itself will be guided steady ramble, exploring the Glazer, Skimmers Hill and the 2 Red Moss plantations. Unfortunately, no dogs are allowed, and all children need to be accompanied by a responsible adult. The organisers strongly recommend wearing walking boots. For further information, call 01360 311 944.
Air Ambulance Milestone. Flying to rescue for 90 years. The Scottish Ambulance Service, Air Ambulance, is celebrating 90 years of providing vital life-saving services. The first air ambulance mission was on May the 14th, 1933, when a fisherman was evacuated to Glasgow from the Isle of Islay. There were several other flights that year. Now, 90 years later, and fully funded in its entirety by the Scottish Government, the service provides air ambulance support to both urban and rural communities across Scotland, as well as supporting the Scotstar retrieval teams, such as SAS's, neonatal, EMRS and paediatric teams, and responding to 999 calls and a helicopter emergency medical service, HEMS, role. A national multidisciplinary team of paramedics, nurses, advanced practitioners and doctors work together to provide healthcare to all areas of Scotland. In 2022-23, air ambulance crews attended 4,185 incidents, an increase compared to the previous year of 3,924 incidents and 3,076 the year before. Pauline Howie, Scottish Ambulance Service Chief Executive, said, "The air ambulance service is a vital lifeline for communities across Scotland, and 90 years of caring for patients across Scotland is an amazing milestone. I'd like to thank all the air ambulance staff who have served patients over the years, and current staff who continue to provide the very best care to patients, often in the most challenging of circumstances. The air ambulance network ensures the very best healthcare to remote and rural communities, carrying out routine transfers, attending emergencies, and assisting with paediatrics and neonates and their families. The service is delivered through a managed contract of 2 helicopters, one based in Glasgow and one in Inverness, and 2 fixed-wing aircraft, one at Aberdeen Airport and one at Glasgow Airport. In addition to the 4 government-funded aircraft, the service is supplemented by 2 helicopters provided by Scotland's charity Air Ambulance, SCAA. While the first flight took place on May the 14th, 1933, the Scottish Air Ambulance Service only became recognised as a public service in 1948, following the creation of the UK National Health Service. Until then, the hire of an ambulance aircraft was a private arrangement between patient and airline. Recently, the Air Ambulance launched a re-procurement consultation, providing the opportunity for the public to help shape its future. The consultation has welcomed responses from more than 1,500 patients, members of the public, healthcare professionals and stakeholder groups. Stephen Lee joined the Scottish Ambulance Service in September 2004 as an ambulance care assistant. He became a paramedic in 2008, based at Paisley Ambulance Station. He initially started at the Air Ambulance Service in 2009 before he joined the training department. Now he works as an aircrew paramedic on the fixed-wing aircraft based at Glasgow Airport, where he has been based for 5 years. He described the Air Ambulance network as a vital part of the NHS network, adding, "Without this service, remote and rural communities would not have access to the full range of hospital services. Myself and my colleagues provide that vital link in the service chain to ensure the health of the nation. Without this link, some remote and rural communities might not be able to continue, as the specialist care is centralised. It's important that we move people to the centres for this care, to enable remote and rural communities to grow and continue to function." Stephen attends routine transfers for patients attending clinics and planned hospital admissions, emergencies where the patient has been stabilised but requires specialist care in another hospital, and critical care retrievals with the adult, paediatric and neonatal teams. He said, "My duties are to ensure the equipment in the aircraft is serviceable and liaise with the pilots regarding any aviation problems. I also ensure the safe loading of patients, equipment and the general safety of the cabin when in flight. The variety from day to day, hour to hour, I do not know what is coming next, is what Stephen enjoys most." He added, "I'm also flying across some of the most beautiful countryside every day while going to work, and I do enjoy working with the pilots who are dedicated to what we do as a team. The highlights working as an aircrew paramedic are many, some to do with the things I've seen while flying, such as flying into Edinburgh and seeing the 3 bridges across the Forth, or flying up the Tay to land in Perth. fellow Air Ambulance paramedic Ian McKenzie has never looked back since joining the service last year after working as a paramedic on Skye. He too very much enjoys the job and is delighted to be celebrating its 90th year. Stephen and Ian are just two of the many Air Ambulance service employees who undertake around 3,500 missions every year. To find out more, visit www.scottishambulance.com. Health heroes take to the screen again. The incredible work of NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde's frontline heroes will once again be showcased in popular Channel 4 documentary series. Returning for Series 2, Rescue Extreme Medics has been given exclusive access to the Scottish Trauma Network, including the major trauma centres at Glasgow's Queen Elizabeth University Hospital and Royal Hospital for Children. The first episode of the series aired on Channel 4 on Monday, May the 15th, and can be found on Catch Up. Dr. Scott Davison, Deputy Medical Director for NHS GCC, said, "I'd like to thank all of our staff for taking part in this second series. Every day our colleagues save lives and provide exceptional care, not only our patients, but to their families too. This high standard of person-centred care has once again been captured in such a unique and emotional way, and we're all looking forward to this series airing. Each programme follows highly skilled medics as they use helicopters and rapid response cars to deliver advanced hospital treatment at the scenes of the most serious of accidents in some of the most challenging landscapes. Using cameras worn by the medics and with new unique access to the trauma teams, viewers will experience what medics do as they save lives on scene." The Health Board's Medical Director, Dr. Jennifer Armstrong, told the Herald, "NHS GGC staff work tirelessly to provide the highest standards of care possible to our patients and their families, and makes us also proud to see the remarkable work showcased in this way." Centenary Year Joy for Kirky players. The Kirkintilloch players began their centenary year in style as they emerged victorious in the Scottish final of the Scottish Community Drama Association's one-act play festival in the MacRobert Arts Centre in Stirling last weekend. The team, with Shirley Angus at the helm as director, won a fiercely fought competition to scoop 3 highly coveted trophies on the day. That included the Connie Fisher Trophy for highest marks in direction, the Glenn McKemmy Trophy for the best play depicting Scottish life, and character in the Wheatley Tassie for first place. This victory sends the players to Belfast at the end of June to represent Scotland in the British final of one-act plays. The play in question is The Beaches of St Valerie by Stuart Hepburn. Dedicated to the memory of Arthur and Helen Fraser and the men of the 51st Highland Division, the play is based on a true story. It is a powerful and poignant tale of love and bravery in the most challenging of circumstances, and the adjudicator, Jennifer Scott Reid, praised the team for their excellent performances. The audience, from all around the country, were mesmerised at the beautiful storytelling of the cast, Alan Cowan, Lewis Baird and Claire Connor. You don't have to book a flight across the Irish Sea to take it in this award-winning play, as it will be part of the Lives Touched by War production in the Turret Theatre, East Side, from Tuesday, May the 16th to Saturday, May the 20th. Alongside it, the club will be performing Seascape, a moving play telling the story of internees in the Isle of Man during the Second World War. Don't miss your chance to see these 2 excellent plays. Tickets available from www.kirkintillochplayers.co.uk. It starts a very busy few weeks for the players, with youth members travelling to Nairn for the SCDA Scottish Youth Final. That takes place on June the 17th, where the youngsters will perform Teachers by John Godber. Following that, Matilda Jr. will be performed between June the 19th and 24th, before the group head to Belfast for the British finals of one-act plays.
Assault appeal. A 48-year-old man was hospitalised following a serious assault in nearby Springburn. Now Police Scotland have launched an investigation to find those responsible. The incident happened on a footpath in Cowlairs Road at around 1 p.m. on Saturday, May 6th, with the victim needing hospital treatment for a back injury. DC Katrina Keogh said, It is imperative we trace whoever is responsible. I am appealing for anyone with information that may help our investigation to come forward. I am also keen to speak with anyone who witnessed this assault or who has dashcam footage that may assist us. Anyone with information is asked to contact police on 101. Information can be left anonymously via Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111. That's 0800 555 111.
Family announcement, 17th of May 2023. Deaths. Belle Everett, suddenly but peacefully at Glasgow Royal Infirmary on Wednesday the 3rd of May 2023. Everett, beloved husband for 56 years of May, loving dad of Martin, Derek and Andrew. Funeral service at Daldowie Crematorium, Glasgow on Saturday the 20th of May at 10 a.m. Copsey, Patrick, formerly of Belsey Station Cottage, Ancram. Died peacefully at home in Lenzie. Loving husband to Jenny and much loved dad to Jamie, Dickon and Amy. Celebration of Patrick's life will be held on Friday, June the 2nd at 12 noon at St Cyprian's, Lenzie, followed by burial and wake, which all friends are invited to. Lang Mary Campbell, very peacefully, on May the 2nd, 2023, at Glasgow Royal Infirmary after a long illness. Mary, much loved wife of Ludovich, Loudy, loving mother of Graham, and the late Ian Lang, and loving sister, mother-in-law, and aunt. Funeral at Daldowie Crematorium on Friday, May the 19th at 2:45 p.m, followed by a service at St Mary's Parish Church in Kirkintilloch at 3:45 p.m. McFall, Andy, peacefully at Mary Curie Hospice on May the 6th, 2023. A much loved husband of Jackie and an adored brother, uncle, great uncle and friend to many. Funeral service will take place on Friday, May the 19th, 2023 at Glasgow Crematorium, Mary Hill for 2:15 p.m. No flowers please. Donations welcome to Marie Curie Hospice. Get ready for a slice of Las Vegas swing. The timeless sounds of the Rat Pack are coming to the Fort Theatre later this month, and it is down to the impressive La Dolce Vita Swing Collective to keep your toes tapping and hearts a-dancing for a night of classic entertainment. Having performed for some of Hollywood's elite and having sold out venues across Scotland, the 5-piece swing/jazz band will bring timeless and iconic melodies to the area on Friday, May the 20th. Vocalist Tony Delicata put together the band with a collection of like-minded musicians whose previous talents range from West End musicals to the Jules Holland Rhythm and Blues Orchestra. He told the Herald, "We will tip our hats and celebrate the Rat Pack and their friends with our take on music by artists such as Frank Sinatra, Nat King Cole, Tony Bennett, Ella Fitzgerald, Bobby Darin, Louis Prima, and many more. We also make full use of my Italian roots, performing many of the treacle-thick Dean Martin iconic melodies, and give our own swing/jazz treatment to some vintage Italian pop. This 5-piece swing/jazz band, featuring piano, bass, sax, drums and vocals, perform those timeless iconic melodies made famous by some of the greatest names that ever graced the Vegas stage. You can find out more about the band and tickets for the Bishopbriggs show by visiting www.dolcevitaswing.com. That's www.dolcevitaswing.com. The following month will see a similar and much loved favourite return to the fort. That will see Artie's Singing Kettle return to Bishopbriggs, which will bring with it an array of silly songs for kids and parents to sing along to. The popular show will be held over 2 sessions on Saturday, June the 10th, with one performance at 11 a.m, followed by a 1 p.m. matinee. The singing kettles are packed with clues for silly songs from sing-along favourites, so don't forget your silly hat and desire to join the fun. More details for Artie's Singing Kettle can be found at www.ticketsource.co.uk. patreon.co.uk/singingkettle. There remains eager anticipation of the return of the hugely popular Hold the Fort comedy nights, with a teaser on the social pages last month promising a return to form. We can't wait to see its return. Let's talk. Letters page, date Wednesday the 17th of May. Please send your letters via email to kirkyherald@jnscotland.co.uk and write letters in the subject field. Gaeldom must break away from Scotland. Sir, we hear incessant talk from the SNP that they are the party of Scotland, but Scotland is a nation of distinct regions, few of whom have a lot in common. What exactly is a Shetlander going to someone from Glasgow? Basically, a Viking who lives somewhere on the edge of the known world. When I lived in Edinburgh, I never felt Glasgow or Dundee were part of the same country. Glaswegians don't consider Edinburgh folk to be part of their world either. And they aren't. The Hebrides are another land which is not part of Scotland. It has no place there. The history of the Isles is one of bullying by lowland kings who didn't like their Gaelic-speaking ways and did their best to break the clan system. Alas, they succeeded. The Western Isles should be a Gaelic-speaking nation with a similar status vis-a-vis the UK as the Faroes have to Denmark, but not independence. Only that way will Gaelic survive and the culture remain uncontaminated by Scotland. The time has come for what remains of Gaeldom to break away from the English-speaking Scotland. Yours, etc., Hamish MacLeod, address supplied. Irish eyes are smiling, Scottish eyes are weeping. Sir, Ireland has just announced that it will establish a sovereign wealth fund using the currently huge budget surpluses which are forecast to rise to over £16 billion next year. In this way, Ireland will follow the example of Australia, another former British colony, and Norway, who have used oil revenues and other windfall wealth to build and renew their infrastructures and ensure their future national needs against more difficult economic circumstances. Scotland, 50 years after North Sea oil revenues began flowing to Norway and, in Scotland's case, to Westminster, and the corrupt, hedge fund, oligarch-ridden City of London, has no hope of a sovereign wealth fund. Instead, we have endured 20 years of UK austerity and deliberate poverty directed by Westminster, Labour and Tory. The oil revenues which cushioned Norway throughout COVID are still building their strategic sovereign wealth fund. No wonder Ireland has decided to use its current wealth from high-tech foreign investment to do the same. Meanwhile, as the asset stripping continues in Scotland, such revenues are still feeding the rotten, gaping maws of Westminster and the City of London, otherwise known as the World Money Laundering Centre. Therefore, where Ireland is to be congratulated on such enviable prosperity and strategic planning, the news is surely also painful and galling, as Scotland considers what might have been. That is, until and unless we are inspired, at last, to follow her example of independence. Yours, etc., Francis McKee, by email. Hypocritical overtures to Labour. Sir, SNP MSP Ben McPherson is making overtures to Labour, claiming that we are both parties of the centre-left. During Labour's years in the wilderness, the SNP showed no interest whatsoever in the centre-left coalition they now moot. Now that the Labour Party, in great part, has shaken off the Jeremy Corbyn nightmare and made themselves electable again, and the SNP's hegemony in Scotland has ended, suddenly Mr McPherson and his colleagues are proposing deals. If they have not already done so, Labour should send them off with a flea in their ear and tell them to go back home and think again. Yours, etc., Alexander Mackay, by email. India is not on the back burner. Sir, even with the current SNP difficulties, which will be resolved, there is a surge in membership of over 2,700. That comes to 74,889 members, and rising. Scottish Unionist parties have refused to publish membership figures, perhaps due to embarrassment. Furthermore, it is believed that the small Alba Independence Party has more members than the Scottish Tory Party. Independence is not on the back burner, and, indeed, it's inevitable for Scotland to progress and flourish. This will develop Scotland's massive renewable potential, including offshore wind, hydrogen and low-carbon heat energy sectors, keeping Scotland as a frontrunner in Europe and the world. Yours, etc., Grant Fraser, address supplied. Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald Readers' Charter. This newspaper is built on a tradition of accuracy and fairness, giving you the information you need to understand our world, holding power to account and exposing injustice. Our trusted brand means we're the only place where you can read in and participate in honest debates. We are committed to giving a voice to those who struggle to be heard, as well as those whose profession is crafting an argument. Our Readers' Charter spells out our commitment to you. You can read the charter online at Kirky at jnscotland.co.uk.
Chantel hopes to get you motivated. A Scottish woman who lost a leg to cancer has been chosen to star in a video alongside a host of famous faces to celebrate 30 years of Race for Life. Chantel Cox, a 25-year-old mum from Dundee, travelled to London just weeks after learning to walk unaided for the first time with a prosthetic limb. Photographed in a nostalgic, brightly coloured leotard and headband, Chantel teamed up with Mr. Motivator, TV presenter Anthea Turner, actress Leslie Ash, and East 17's Terry Caldwell for the 1990s style shoot. Cancer Research UK's Race for Life is an inspiring series of 3K, 5K, 10K, Pretty Muddy and Pretty Muddy Kids events, which raise millions of pounds every year to help beat cancer by funding crucial research. Since the first Race for Life in 1994, more than £940 million has been raised for life-saving research, and participants taking part this year will receive an exclusive medal to mark 30 years. Chantel said, "I wasn't even born when the first ever Race for Life took place in 1994, but I know all too well today the impact it's had on helping people with cancer. I never thought I'd get cancer, but I've lived it, I've been there myself. There have been some really tough days since I lost my leg in January, but I was determined from day one after surgery to get walking again. I wanted to get my freedom back, to chase after my wee boy Harry, to enjoy hill walking and running. I want to do everything I can to help others. I want to support Race for Life, not just for me, but for everyone out there who is going through cancer today. I had the best, most exciting day of filming in London. My mum and dad couldn't believe it when I got home and told them I'd met and taken selfies with Mr. Motivator. They told me he was never off the TV in the 1990s. He and all the celebrities were fun to meet and there was a lot of laughter. I'm proud to have been a part of it." Every year, 33,900 people are diagnosed with cancer in Scotland, and 1 in 2 people in the UK born after 1960 will get cancer in their lifetime. Race for Life enables scientists to find new ways to prevent, diagnose and treat cancer. Chantel, who is now determined to become a cancer nurse, knows exactly how vital it is to raise funds. Her world changed on January the 4th after surgery in Aberdeen to amputate her right leg from above the knee. Doctors recommended it was the best treatment after cancerous tumours were discovered in her calf and ankle. The tumours grew as a result of a rare condition Chantel has endured since childhood. Recovery from surgery included hours of physiotherapy in the gym where she had to learn to walk again, this time with a prosthetic limb. But she was supported every step of the way by her family, including her partner, Jack George, 25, and son Harry, 2. Now Chantel has been chosen to sound the start horn at Race for Life Dundee on Sunday, July 30th, at Camperdown Park. The first Race for Life event was held in Battersea, London, in 1994, where 750 participants raised £48,000. Today, around 450 Race for Life events are held every year. To enter an event near you, visit the Race for Life website.
Magazine will help make a big difference. Time to coincide with Dementia Action Week from May the 15th to 21st. A free consumer publication has been launched offering support to carers from award-winning editor and former carer Christina Neal. Dementia Help magazine is the first consumer magazine for dementia carers. A bi-monthly digital publication, it will help carers cope by featuring insights on topics such as financial planning, managing caring tasks, and products that can genuinely make a difference. The launch issue features an exclusive interview with Scott Mitchell, widow of Dame Barbara Windsor, who had Alzheimer's disease. Free to download from the existing Dementia Help website, it will also be sent to an email list of 15,000 carers and promoted to 17,500 followers. There are 700,000 dementia carers in the UK and over 944,000 people living with a diagnosis. The Alzheimer's Society predicts that 1.6 million people will be living with the condition by 2040. Dementia Help founder Christina Neal is an award-winning writer and editor who launched the Dementia Help Facebook page and website in 2017 as a beacon of hope for those caring for loved ones after losing her mum to dementia. Christina said, "When mum was diagnosed, I had no idea what to expect or how to plan ahead. I wish I had known more about the dementia in the early stages of her diagnosis, as the more you understand it, the better place you are to provide the best care. I now fully appreciate the challenges carers face, which is why I want to provide them with practical advice on how they can manage their loved one's condition." Exhibition tells Scotland's HIV story. The National Library of Scotland has partnered with Scotland's HIV and Hepatitis C charity, Waverley Care, to tell Scotland's HIV and AIDS story through a new exhibition. Blood, Sweat and Tears, Scotland's HIV story, looks at community activism and the creativity which characterised the on-the-ground response to the epidemic. It includes a timeline of how society dealt with the epidemic, both locally and internationally. It also focuses on Milestone House, the UK's first purpose-built AIDS hospice. Waverley Care established Milestone House in Edinburgh in 1991. It was Scotland's first AIDS hospice and was among one of the first in the world. A team of researchers commissioned by Waverley Care developed the exhibition with library curators. Dora Petherbridge, exhibition curator, said, "Co-curating with the Waverley Care researchers deepened the resonance of the stories that this exhibition tells. In response to the unique situation in Edinburgh in the 1980s, many people worked tirelessly to overcome stigma and neglect. Under a climate of fear, homophobia and demonisation, Waverley Care and Milestone House, as well as other organisations, offer pioneering support and care for anyone affected. While medical treatment has advanced over the past few decades, the recent HIV outbreak in Glasgow shows that Scotland's experience of HIV/AIDS is an important story to share. The exhibition includes items from the library's collections, as well as Waverley Care and Lothian Health Services archive at the University of Edinburgh. It runs until December the 2nd, the day after World AIDS Day. Bookbugs ready to get shuggling. Bookbug Week, taking place from May the 15th to 21st, encourages little ones and their families to dance to their favourite songs and rhymes and then cozy up with a story. This year's theme is Bookbug's Big Shuggle, and the week will focus on the benefits of movement and dance for early years development. Dance and movement are not only fun for little ones, but play an important role in their development. Movement helps young children to build strength and mobility. The tactile elements of many songs and rhymes help them to learn about different parts of their body. Bookbug is a national programme run by the Scottish Book Trust, a charity changing lives with reading and writing. All children in Scotland receive 4 bookbug bags from birth to their first year of school. Families can also share songs and rhymes in fun bookbug sessions in local libraries and community groups and through the Bookbug app. The Scottish Government has been supporting Bookbug since 2010. Mark Lambert, Scottish Book Trust CEO, said, "We're excited to share Bookbug's Big Shuggle with families across Scotland this year, celebrating the benefits of movement and dance." This year's Bookbug Week celebrations will include a partnership with BBC Tiny Happy People, a free-to-use website with fun activity ideas to support wee ones from birth to 4 years old with speech, language and communication development. They will be adding some brilliant activity idea films to the Bookbug app for 1 week only, which highlights the importance of parents and carers talking to their little ones as early as possible. Scottish Book Trust is running a competition to win 10 books, a musical instrument kit and a space hopper. Natalie Dawn, Children and Young People's Minister, said, "Initiatives like this can help encourage an early love of books among children, in addition to providing great opportunities for parents and their wee ones to spend time together whilst having fun and learning. I'm delighted the Scottish Government is able to provide increased funding for 2023-24 of £1.8 million for the continuation of the BookBug programme.
Check your eligibility before May 31st. Scots are being urged to claim hundreds of pounds of government support with energy bills by May 31st. A range of schemes saw the government covering around half a typical household's energy bill this winter. Support is still available for some who couldn't receive this help directly, and application deadlines remain open until the end of the month. Consumer Energy Minister Amanda Soloway is urging people to check whether they're eligible to apply on the government's online portal for the Energy Bill Support Scheme Alternative Funding, EBSSAF, which opened in February, offering £400 to those who don't have a direct relationship with a domestic electricity supplier, and the Alternative Fuel Payment Funding Scheme with up to £200 available. Households can apply via gov.uk or call 0808 175 3287. That's 0808 175 3287 for EBSS funds, and 0808 175 3943. That's 0808 175 3943 for alternative fuels.
District News, Churches, Kirkintilloch, Home Church Scotland, Lammermoor Road, Kirkintilloch, G66 2AB, One Church, 4 locations, Kirkintilloch, Carmyle, Stornoway and online, a church for all ages, His truth endures to all generations, Psalm 100 verse 5. Sunday, May the 21st, 9:30am, Communion, 10am, prayer meeting followed by refreshments, 11am, worship service, Children's Church and Creche, followed by refreshments. New location, Carmel Church, Carmyle. Evening services at 6:30pm. Tuesdays, engine room at 9:30am for prayer and teaching. Bible study on Zoom at 2:30pm. Also Bible study in the church at 7:15pm. Wednesdays, mothers and babies 10am to 11:30am. Home groups for prayer and Bible study, 7:15pm and online. New groups starting for young adults, 18 to 25. Fridays, youth fellowship at 7:30pm to 9:30pm. Home radio is now on 100.8FM, as well as Spotify, etc. See Facebook and Instagram for up-to-date information. St David's Memorial Park Church. The service at St David's Memorial Park on Sunday, May the 21st, will be a joint service with Lenzie Old, Lenzie Union and St Mary's. The service will start at 10:30am. Young people will be able to join in the Jam, Jesus and Me group during the service. Our Tuesday lunchtime service will be held each Tuesday from noon in the small hall. Our next service will be May the 23rd. All are welcome to attend this afternoon service. Our Friendship Club will also meet on May the 23rd from 1:30pm to 3:30pm. Again, you are warmly invited to come along to the church. Information at SDMP services and groups can be found on SDMP Facebook page. Annual stated meeting. A reminder to all that our stated annual meeting will be held in the large hall today, Wednesday, May the 17th, at 7pm. This meeting is open to all. Members are also welcome to stay on for the joint meeting of the Kirk Session and Congregational Board, which will follow the stated annual meeting. This meeting is also open to all members, so please do stay on and find out more about the workings of your church. Springfield Cambridge Church. Morning worship on Sunday, May the 20th will be conducted by Reverend Ian Taylor, assisted by Mrs. Julie Harty at the sanctuary at 11am. The Sunday school meets in room 2. There is also a creche facility where we will be happy to look after your child, birth to 3 years, in room 2. Morning worship is also being live streamed on the Springfield Cambridge Church YouTube channel. A link to this can be found on the Springfield Cambridge Church website, www.springfieldcambridge.org.uk, and Facebook page, where up-to-date information about events and church organisations can also be found. Tea and coffee will be available after church in room 1. Come and enjoy the fellowship. There will be a vestry hour on Wednesday, May the 17th from 10am to 11am for anyone who would like to speak with the minister. There will be a short weekly service of worship in the Springfield Chapel on Wednesday, May the 17th from 11:10am to 11:30am, followed by tea and coffee served in the Hall of Fellowship. As part of the church's Christian Aid 2023 events, a Christian Aid quiz will take place on Friday, May the 19th in the Springfield Hall at 7pm. Tickets donation price £5. Tickets for Ewan Russell and Friends SAMH concert on Saturday, May the 20th at 6:45pm in the Sanctuary are still available, priced £10 and £6 concessions, or pay at the door on the evening. St James Church, Hilton Road, Bishopbriggs. Rector Reverend Canon Paul Watson on 0141 230 4080. On Saturday, May the 20th, being the third Saturday in the month, Dads and Kids is held from 10am to noon and is a great chance for dads with young children to get together around some banter, bacon rolls and coffee while the kids play. On Sunday, May the 21st, there will be a Sunday club at 10:30am. There is a communion service at 11am on Thursday in the chapel, and on Sunday, May the 21st, in the chapel at 9am and at 10:30am in the church. Everyone is welcome to come along to any of the services. Do stay on for tea and coffee and fellowship afterwards. There are also other virtual services and groups. For up-to-date and further information, refer to our social media. Facebook, St James the Less, Bishopbriggs. Website, www.stjamesbishopbriggs.org.uk. Lenzie Union Parish Church. We will be joining with our friends at St David's Memorial Park Church for worship on Sunday, May the 21st at 10:30am. The drop-in youth cafe on Thursdays at 3:45pm until 5pm. Each week there is a free snack with lots of different things to do, such as games consoles, table tennis, arts and crafts, board games and more. The meeting place is closed on Wednesday, May the 17th. The coffee pot is opened on Fridays at 10am till noon in the new hall for teas, coffee and chat. Art for seniors on Monday, May the 22nd at 1:30pm in the new hall. Enjoy creating a piece of art under the step-by-step guidance of artist Beverly McCluskey. No experience is needed. Contact Margaret on 07792 168826 to book your place. Concert celebrating 10 years of being a fair trade town on Wednesday, May the 24th at 7:30pm in the church. Admission £5. Popular classical music by Donald and Friends. Kirkintilloch Church of God. At Regent Hall, Regent Street, every Wednesday our coffee corner is opened from noon to 2pm for home baking and coffee. Join our friends and neighbours for a chat over a coffee. On Sunday, there will be a Zoom service at 6:30pm. The speaker this week will be Brian Johnson, missionary, author and broadcaster. A warm invitation to everyone who is able to join us on Zoom. Access details for the stream can be obtained by emailing hello@regenthall.org. For up-to-date and further information on our services, visit our website on www.regenthall.org. Jesus said, "For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul?" Mark chapter 8 verses 36 to 37. Kenmure Parish Church. There will be a short Christian Aid service held in the church hall and led by Reverend Susan Anderson today, Wednesday, May the 17th, at 7pm as part of the Bishopbriggs Cluster Christian Aid Week activities. All are welcome to attend our Sunday morning service beginning at 11am, this week led by Alison and Bruce Keith. The service is live streamed on YouTube. You can find our channel by simply searching for Kenmure Bishopbriggs on YouTube. All are welcome to come along and enjoy some tea, coffee and home baking, along with a lively chat with old and new friends in a warm and friendly atmosphere on our Thursday morning tea room. It is open from 10:30am to noon. Details of all of our groups that are currently running may be found on our website, kenmure-church.co.uk. To find us on Facebook, just search for Kenmure Parish Church. If you would like to join our WhatsApp group or receive the Bible studies from ABC, then email us at kenmurechurch@icloud.com. Cadder Parish Church. For full details, please see our website. We look forward to welcoming you this coming Sunday to our morning service, which is at 10:30 AM in Cadder Parish Church. The service will be led by Reverend John McGregor, Rona Gold and Rebecca Warren, MMUS. Children, Cadder Kids, meet in the church prior to the service and then go up to Cadder North Hall for their activities. This will be the prize giving service for our young ones, the presentation of the annual accounts after the service, tea and coffee served after the service, food bank. If you wish to donate to the local food bank, you can bring your donations of food to the church or the coffee shop. Early Fellowship meets in the South Hall Chapel at 9:30 AM on Thursday for half an hour with Reverend John McGregor, and also available on Tuesday and Thursday on Zoom. For further details, contact the minister. Tuesday, Cadder Messy Play, South Hall, 10:30 AM. Christian Aid Week, May the 14th to the 20th. Bishopbriggs Church of Scotland Cluster Group is joining together to celebrate Christian Aid 2023. Wednesday, May the 17th, prayer and worship for Christian Aid, Kenmure Church, 7 PM. Friday, May the 19th, Christian Aid Quiz, Springfield Cambridge Hall, 7 PM, quiz organised by Ian Watt. Sunday, May the 21st, Christian Aid Picnic at Allen Glen's Gathering, 12:30 PM, and starting 1 PM with a service of Praise in the Park from 2 PM. Milton of Campsie Church. Cafe Connect continues on Tuesday from 9 AM to noon. Time to pray is on Wednesday at 7:15 PM. This will be followed by Kirk Session meeting at 8 PM and Wednesday Workhouse from 8 PM to 9 PM, when we make preparations for this year's Go Mad. For Sunday service, where we celebrate Jesus' Ascension, please send us a photo of yourself climbing something, maybe a tree, stairs or a hill. Also on Sunday, we visit Lilyburn and Burston care homes. Please meet in the car park at 2:20 PM on Monday. The baby and toddler group meets at 9:45 AM, the Hobbies Club at 2 PM, and Badminton Club at 7:30 PM. Christian Aid Week began on Sunday, May the 14th. Look out for that red envelope coming through your door. Also, Father Jeremy from St Paul's, along with Margaret and the two Phyllises, are doing 600,000 Steps Challenge during the month of May. Sponsorship target for Christian Aid is £1,000. Please sponsor online or see the sponsor sheet at the church. The retiring offering in May is for Operation Smile. Operation Smile is an international volunteer-based medical services charity providing free reconstructive surgery and aftercare to children and young adults around the world, primarily for cleft lips and or palates. In the UK, we raise funds to treat facial deformities, recruit and supply medical volunteers, help train local medical teams, build infrastructure, and public raise awareness. More information at www.operationsmile.org.uk. Colston Well Park Church. Colston Well Park Church welcomes you to our service this Sunday, starting at 11 AM and led by Reverend Leslie Grieve. Tea and coffee served in the hall after the service. The Colston Art Club continues this Monday from 10 AM to 1 PM, and new members are invited, so feel free to join us. For further information, call 07709 584 680. This Wednesday, the Colston Tea Break continues from 11 AM to 12:30 PM, and if you want some company, some friendly chat, and good food, we'll pop along to it. It's all free. The food bank continues its good work within the community and is open every Friday from 11 AM to 1 PM and 2 PM to 4 PM. Sincere thanks to all who continually assist in this worthwhile and essential work. Follow our services on Facebook at Colston Well Park Parish Church, and if you require further information on any of our church activities, contact Leslie Grieve on 07813 255 052. District News General. Horticultural Society. At our April meeting, Heidi Stone, Scotland's Garden Schemes District Organiser for Glasgow and North Lanarkshire, gave us an interesting talk on the history of the scheme. We learnt that it was founded in 1931 to raise money to help support the Queen's Nursing Institute, Scotland, prior to the creation of the NHS. Nowadays, a great many charities benefit from the monies raised when the people open their gardens, big and small, to the public, under the auspices of the scheme. We also shared another good spring display of plants and flowers brought in by members. On Thursday, May the 18th, our annual general meeting, followed by cheese and wine, will be held in the Enterprise House from 7:30pm to 9:30pm. Potential new members will be made welcome on the night, or alternatively can find out more about the Society by calling Paul Malcolm on 0141 578 1520 or visiting our website www.kirkintillochhorty.org.uk. Jarvis wants his own home. He's a playful lad that enjoys exploring in walks, but can be uncomfortable around other dogs and prefers to walk in the quiet woodlands or go on an adventure in the car. Jarvis is an affectionate boy who thrives on human attention and would like a home where someone is around most of the day to keep him company. Jarvis is a loyal and loving companion who would make a wonderful addition to any family. If you're looking for a smart, playful and affectionate dog, consider giving Jarvis his forever home. If you could give Jarvis or any of the 50 dogs currently available for rehoming, please call West Calder Rehoming Centre on 01506 873 459. Westminster View. The Cost of Living Crisis is a Scandal by Amy Callaghan MP. Spiralling inflation, soaring interest rates, sluggish growth. Barely a day goes by when the cost of living crisis is not hitting the headlines. But behind these news stories are the heartbreaking personal accounts I hear at every constituency surgery. It's the young family who can't afford their mortgage payments, the pensioner sitting in a cold house, the single parent skipping meals. As your local MP, I do what I can to help, linking people up with available support. But herein lies the problem. There simply isn't enough of it out there. The UK government has not stepped up. Ministers point to the measly support they have offered and harp on about this being a global crisis. It is true that the impact of COVID and the war in Ukraine has seen food prices rises across Europe, but families in the UK have been hit hardest. While food inflation is 15.7% here, it's currently 7.3% in France. This is a direct result of Brexit. That is why I find it utterly bewildering that Labour remain committed to Brexit and the Lib Dems refuse to answer whether they support rejoining the EU or not. It's also why we, in the SNP, have been clear that if we hold the balance of power at Westminster after the general election, we would use our influence to undo Brexit as far as possible and demand the UK has a close relationship with the EU. The cost of living crisis has also exposed the dilapidated condition of the welfare state. We have a social security system that is completely failing to provide an adequate safety net for families across the UK. From its cruel, callous and ineffective sanctions regime, to the benefit cap, to the two-child limit, it is a long-neglected system in need of a complete overhaul. As a minimum, the UK government must raise universal credit to a level that everyone can access essential goods. This is surely the point of a social security system. The cost of living crisis is a scandal because it was entirely avoidable. It has hurt so many people in East Dunbartonshire because of political choices in Westminster. The choice to pursue a hard Brexit. The choice to keep pensions lower than anywhere else in Western Europe. The choice to slash away at the social security system. The time to make different choices is long overdue. Stamps celebrate Blackadder. Royal Mail today announced the launch of 12 special stamps being issued to mark the 40th anniversary of the classic British sitcom Blackadder. From the myths of medieval England to the court of Queen Elizabeth I, from the glamour of the Georgian era to the grim trenches of the First World War, the stamps pay tribute to one of the pillars of British comedy. 8 stamps in the main set capture moments spanning the 4 series of the classic British sitcom and feature some of the show's best loved characters. In addition, a further 4 stamps presented in a miniature sheet, celebrate the main character, Edmund Blackadder, played by Rowan Atkinson, in his various guises. If you would like to highlight your group's activities, meetings, or any fundraising efforts, then please send us all the details to this email address, kirkyherald@jnscotland.co.uk. That's KIRKYHERALD @JNSCOTLAND.co.uk. Public notices, members' surgeries, councillors' arrangements for interviewing residents. Ward 5, Bishopbriggs South, Gordon Low, 20th of May 2023, Bishopbriggs Academy, 10 AM to 10:45 AM, dining area. 20th of May 2023, Bishopbriggs Library and Community Hub, 11:15 AM to 12 noon, room 1. 20th of May 2023, Auchinnairn CE Centre, 12:30 PM to 1:15 PM, room 1. Ward 7, Kirkintilloch East and North and Twaker, Councillor Pamela Marshall. 20th of May 2023, Kirkintilloch Hub, room 1. 10 AM to 10:45 AM, 20th of May 2023, Hillhead Community Centre, room 2. 11:15 AM to 12 noon, 20th of May 2023, Twicker Healthy Living and Enterprise Centre, 12:15 PM to 1 PM. Ward 7, Kirkintilloch East and North and Twaker, Councillor Stuart MacDonald. 17th of May, Twaker Healthy and Living Enterprise Centre, 5:30 PM to 6 PM. 17th of May, Hillhead Community Centre, 6:15 PM to 6:45 PM. Ward 7, Kirkintilloch East and North and Twaker, Councillor Susan Murray. 17th of May, The Hub, William Patrick Library, room 1, 6 PM to 7:30 PM. Between surgeries, councillors can be contacted at the Members Support Unit on 0300 1234510. That's to contact councillors between surgeries. The number to phone is 0300 1234510. Planning notices. Wednesday the 17th of May 2023. The Town and Country Planning Scotland Act 1997, as amended, and the Town and Country Planning Development Management Procedure Scotland Regulations 2013 Regulation 7 (2) as amended. Notice of Pre-Application Consultation Public Event. East Dunbartonshire Council give notice of their intention to submit a planning application for the proposed development as follows: Balmoildy Primary School, Stirling Drive, Glasgow, G64 3AJ. Proposed redevelopment of Balmoildy Primary School to replace existing facility, including early years provision, car parking, open space and associated engineering works. Further information on the proposed development will be available at a public exhibition being held as follows: 24th of May 2023 between 3:30 PM and 7 PM at Balmoildy Primary School, Stirling Drive, G64 3AJ. A second public exhibition event will be held at a future date and will also be advertised in advance. Any persons wishing to make comments relating to the proposal or wishing to obtain further information may do so by contacting Christine DL, Barton Wilmore, now Stantec, agent, Christine.dl, that's CHRISTINE.DALZIEL at sign STANTEK.com or 0131 285 3653 or by post to Barton Wilmore, now Stantec, 5th floor, 9 George Square, Glasgow, G2 1DY. Comments should be submitted to the prospective applicant at the address above by 5th of July 2023. Please note, comments on these proposals are to the prospective applicant and not formal representations to the East Dunbartonshire Council Planning. If a subsequent planning application is submitted, there will be a further opportunity to make formal representations on the application to East Dunbartonshire Council Planning during the statutory notification period. Theft at club has happy ending. A football team has had its equipment storage container returned after being stolen from the Loreto playing fields in Bishopbriggs. The container held thousands of pounds worth of equipment, including footballs, goalposts and cones, that is used by over 10 age levels at East Dunbartonshire FC. It is thought the theft took place last Tuesday afternoon, May the 9th, a red truck with yellow writing having been spotted at the pitches at around 2 p.m. However, the week would end on a happy note as the club chairperson took a call on Thursday from someone who spotted the container. A club statement read, "After a few calls it was verified, and with help from the police and a local haulage company, the container is back in its rightful place at Loreto with equipment intact. A big thank you to Barriston Contracts who picked up our container when it was being held by the police. We can't thank them enough for their generosity in helping out at such short notice. We have to say a big thank you to everyone who spread the word all over the central belt of Scotland." Meanwhile, 2013's player Caden McKellar will be raising funds when he tackles the National Three Peaks Challenge, climbing Bed Nevis, Snowdon and Scafell Pike over the weekend of June the 23rd. Caden had already planned to take part in the challenge and decided to use what he raised to replace the stolen equipment. Even though it has been returned, he still aims to help the club buy new equipment. His parents have agreed that if donors wish to have their donations refunded, then they can contact them through Just Giving. To make a donation, visit www.justgiving.com/crowdfunding/Caden-McKellar. All this drama took place just a few weeks before the club holds its 15th annual football festival over the weekend of June the 10th and 11th, with over 1,500 youngsters from nearly 200 teams set to be in attendance. City's title race goes right to the wire. The SWPL1 title comes down to the final day as leaders Glasgow City travel to Ibrox on Sunday to face second place Rangers. City have a 2-point lead over the Gers going into the clash, but while victory would see the Petershill Park side crowned champions, even a win may not be enough for the host. Third place Celtic can't be discounted as they sit in the same number of points as their old firm rivals, with only an inferior goal difference of only 1 as they host Hearts. City could already have the title wrapped up, but lost 3-1 away to Celtic last Thursday, 24 hours after Rangers had beaten Partick Thistle 3-0. Lauren Davidson gave the visitors the lead after 20 minutes, but the match turned around in the second half, with goals from Natasha Flint, Clara Rardon and Catherine Lofersky. Then, on Sunday, it was City's turn to hold Thistle, as Davidson again gave them the lead 4 minutes before the break. Rebecca McGowan equalised on the hour mark, before Priscilla Chinchell grabbed the winner 4 minutes from time. However, with Celtic beating Hibs 2-1, and Gers demolishing Hearts 6-0, the champion would have to be kept in ice. City boss Lauren Ross told the club's media team, "We are still 2 points ahead, it is still in our hands, but it was vital we got the 3 points against Thistle, so the players got the job done. So all credit to them. This is the first time in a long time that we've actually had that week to actually do some work in the training pitch, so it will be important for us to have these sessions to prepare properly for the game on Sunday. It is a huge game. We can both go and win the title, so I'm sure it will be a really exciting game for everyone that is there." Kirkintilloch's Rob Roy ended their WOS Premier League season with 2 1-0 defeats as they lost at home to Largs Thistle last Wednesday, May the 10th, and away to Clydebank on Saturday. Although already relegated Petershill were able to end the season in style as they beat Kilwinning Rangers 4-2 at home on Saturday, with goals from Dean McBride, Jordan Marshall, Dale Hepburn and Dom Morgan. Rossville won 1-0 away to Shotts Bonaccord, but relegation from the First Division has now been confirmed. Alex Chatterton grabbed the only goal after 75 minutes, but Neilston picking up 4 points out of 6 in the last week means Rossvale will finish in the bottom 3. The penultimate game of the season sees Rossvale travel to St Caedix on Saturday. Ashfield edged closer to promotion in the second division with a 4-0 win at home to Ardere Thistle on Saturday. Bobby Barr missed a penalty, but a header from captain Sean Doherty ensured the hosts led at the break. Second half goals from Craig Young, Johnny Black and Aaron Davies secured the 3 points. Ashfield needed a win at home to Fort Wanderers last night, Tuesday, to confirm promotion and then travelled to Maple Juniors on Saturday. Allied on board as boat race sponsors. Allied Vehicles is sponsoring this year's Cerebral Palsy Scotland's 20th anniversary Dragon Boat Race Day through its Allied Mobility brand. Allied staff took part in the CP Scotland Dragon Boat Race Day last year and wanted to get even more involved by sponsoring the event that takes place at Ballock Castle Country Park on the shores of Loch Lomond on June the 3rd. Corporate Cultural Director David Ficena said, CP Scotland is such a fantastic charity that provides specialist support and services for people with cerebral palsy and their families. We're delighted to once again support Cerebral Palsy Scotland and sponsor this fantastic event in their 20th and our 30th anniversary year. Isla Campbell-Lupton, Head of Fundraising and Communications at CP Scotland, added, over the last year, Allied Vehicles has supported and taken part in several of our fundraising events, so we are delighted and very grateful to them for becoming the headline sponsor. We are really looking forward to this year's event and hope it will be our biggest and best yet. Each boat requires a minimum of 12 paddlers and 1 drummer, but you can share a boat with another team, or take CP Scotland's half boat option for 6 to 8 people. If you want to take part, but can't raise enough people for a half or full boat, email getinvolved@cpscot.org.uk. Each crew will have at least 3 races and will be accompanied by a qualified helm. A deposit of £100 per boat, £50 half boat, is required, and the teams are asked to raise a minimum sponsorship of £1,500, £750 half boat. Tigers take narrow advantage into second leg. Glasgow Tigers take a narrow 2-point lead into the second leg of the BSN Series semi-final at Ashfield on Friday night. An excellent all-round display last Friday saw Tigers beat Scunthorpe Scorpions 46-44 in the away leg at the Eddie Wright Raceway. Ben Bassel and Chris Harris secured the heat 3-3 to ensure that Tigers become the first team to win the North Lincolnshire for over a year. Among the other highlights were the 2 outstanding rides from young Ace Pidgeper, who deserved better than his 2 second places. However, the whole team did their part, as every other rider claiming at least 1 race victory. With the tie so delicately poised, Tigers team boss Cammy Brown knows the job is only half done. He told the club's website, I know it's a cliche, but it's true, this is only half time of the tie. We've got a big second leg to come at Ashfield. Scunthorpe are a strong side and have guys who like our track, and they will be fired out to do the same to us. We had a team meeting before we left the track and praised the boys, but it was made clear that it's far from over. There simply cannot be any complacency next week. We still need to be in a strong home finish, do the job. That was our biggest test so far, and there will probably be bigger ones to come. What I liked was that all the boys contributed in some way right the way through. Every single one of them did their bit. It was a bit feisty at times, rough and tumble, but it was proper speedway on a very good Scunthorpe track which made for a terrific meeting.
That concludes this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast. Please remember to subscribe to our channels at Tune Review and to tell your friends about our service.